Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl and happy Thursday to you all. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber. We're going to rewind Dynamite. We're going to talk about WrestleMania, all things WrestleMania. And of course, I have some wrestling news for you. I have two stories for you. All of this and so much more here tonight. Tonight on a jam packed edition of a great edition of the wrestling experience. All right, everyone, welcome back to the wrestling experience. Make sure you hit the like button, not only on X, not only on YouTube, but all the social media platforms. Wherever you're watching live, folks, hit that like button, smash it, hit it, and let's have some fun here tonight on the wrestling experience. How's everyone doing tonight? How was your Thursday? How was your Thursday? As we get into the weekend and Friday is here, TGIF. Thank God it's going to be Friday. Well, folks, let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it. Let's just dive right into it. The Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber, ladies and gentlemen, happened this past Saturday. And I'm going to tell you something. The Chamber was fun. It was a fun event. It was one of those events where you you were talking about it for years to come, especially the men's elimination chamber. We're going to talk about that. I thought the women had a decent showing. I thought that the women's chamber was decent. It was a solid performance by all women involved, all six women involved. Rhea Ripley wins the women's elimination chamber, and she and Jay Cargill are having a Twitter war, a beef, a big beef. And it's getting to be such that I've read from insiders like PW Insider and other wrestling news outlets that this is rubbing the staff the wrong way backstage with Jade Cargill. So apparently she's pissing off people backstage with her Twitter beef with Rhea Ripley. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here at WrestleMania when the title is on the line and Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill meet for the first time ever on the WrestleMania grandest stage of them all. And we're going to see what happens in just a couple of nights from now. I'm going to tell you something, folks. WrestleMania is on the lips of everyone. Some good, some bad. WWE is banking on a stack card, a jam-packed card, and trying to get butts in seats and try to get those ticket sales up. They're down from last year, and I sort of think what the WWE tried to do here. They tried everything. They tried giving you discounts. That didn't work. Now they're going to try to bank on this main event of CM Punk and, of course, Roman Reigns for the title. and see if that works, if that magic works. Because so far, nothing has worked to boost ticket sales for WrestleManias both nights. Very lackluster movement in the ticket sales department. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what develops like a Polaroid picture here. I cannot wait for WrestleMania. I think this is going to be an exciting time to watch WrestleMania this year. There's really no, this is the first WrestleMania that I think in a vastly long time where there's really no fanfare or buzz with the fans. I don't hear what fans talk about WrestleMania. I don't know if what people's feelings about WrestleMania 42, but I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any scuttlebutts about what fans feel about it. I would like to pick up a fan's brain and find out what they think about this WrestleMania this year with the sluggish ticket sales and tried to boost it up with this main event of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Now it looks like we're going to be getting Logan Paul and of course Seth Rollins if he's medically cleared to compete at WrestleMania. As you all know, ladies and gentlemen, at the Elimination Chamber, which we will talk about later, there was a shocking moment in the chamber, in the men's chamber, that I didn't even see coming. I didn't even think it was possible, and I didn't even think that this person would have showed up at the chamber, but showed up he did. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. So, getting back to WrestleMania, they pushed the start time up for WrestleMania. WrestleMania will now start at 6 p.m. both nights. And for the first time ever, WrestleMania will be seen on free television on the ESPN. So if you don't have the app, you should have ESPN on your channel at home, and you could watch the first hour of WrestleMania both nights on ESPN. The first hour will be on ESPN. I don't have a problem with this. I don't know what anybody feels about it, but I don't have a problem with it. Daniel Verda Sports, happy birthday. How you doing, Dave? Happy birthday. Sorry, Daniel Verda Sports, it's not your birthday, but happy Thursday to you. Thank you for watching and hit the like button, Daniel. Thank you so much. So, so anyway, folks, getting back to WrestleMania, the start time has been moved up to 6 p.m. I don't have a problem with this. That means it'll start 3 p.m. in Vegas. I don't have any issues whatsoever with the start time of WrestleMania. Now, will the main event draw you to get more tickets? Will it draw people to buy more seats and boost us ticket sales up? We will see. We will see. So the start time has been moved up. They're trying to boost ticket sales, and that's the latest on WrestleMania. Now let's see what it produced. Let's see what both nights can do for you. We will see. All right, folks. Let's talk about the Elimination Chamber, shall we? The Elimination Chamber took place this last Saturday night in Chicago, Illinois, at the United Center. This was the first time in over 30 years the WWE held an event inside the United Center. So this was about 19,343 saw the Elimination Chamber. So let's just go up to the top in the main event of the card, which was the men's elimination chamber. I'm going to tell you something, folks. This elimination chamber, the men's chamber, I thought it was impressive, especially Javon Evans being the youngest person to be in the chamber. Trick Williams had a good showing. Logan Paul eliminated some people in the chamber until he was thwarted. Cody Rhodes, unfortunately, his WrestleMania dream didn't happen the way he wanted it. Orton Orton got his moment in the sun. So an LA Knight again, WWE screwed him out of the chamber, thanks to Logan Paul. So let's just talk about this for a second. Let's just dial it back. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Logan Paul. So all of these men were in the chamber. Now, originally, Jey Uso was supposed to be in the chamber. But because you fans took to Twitter and disliked Jey Uso being in the chamber, you hated it with a passion, WWE decided, well, since the fans hated it, we're going to flip the script. So what they did, they had some random person, we still don't know who, attack Jey Uso backstage last week on SmackDown, eliminating him from the chamber. So this is the power of Twitter. This is the power of X. And Jey Uso gets removed from the chamber because you fans didn't want Jey Uso in the chamber. Why? For what? What was the purpose? Why did you hate on Jey Uso? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I probably won't get it. So Jey Uso gets eliminated from the chamber. All right. We have nobody in the chamber. So they replaced him with Logan Paul. Paul comes in the ring and he starts eliminating people left, right, and center. Then all of a sudden, chaos broke out. Chaos, ladies and gentlemen, with a capital K. On the dear departed Jeffrey would love that word. Chaos. It was absolutely bedlam. Ladies and gentlemen, first the masked man came out, then we had another masked man. The place was all crawling with masked men. But there was one important masked man in this match that paid dividends. And that masked man, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins comes in the ring, takes the mask off. We now know who the masked man was at the Royal Rumble. It was Rollins all along, and he screwed the Vision's Logan Paul out of the chamber. Cody Rhodes pins Logan Paul and eliminates him. Cody Rhodes, but before that happened, Cody Rhodes was attacked by Drew McIntyre again. McIntyre, as I predicted, screwed Cody Rhodes out of the chamber and helped Orton win the chamber. That's how the match ended. McIntyre comes out, hits Cody Rhodes in the back of the head. He, he tag teams with Orton to get rid of McIntyre, but in the interim, when he turned around, he got RKO'd. And he gets pinned. Orton wins the chamber. He goes to WrestleMania, and is out is Rhodes. Or so we think. Because immediately following this melee and all of this shenanigans in the men's chamber, when the smoke was cleared, Nick Aldis had enough. He had enough of Drew McIntyre and his devious ways. He came out and says that McIntyre will defend that championship on SmackDown against Rhodes this Friday on SmackDown. This is another speed bump towards WrestleMania. What is going to happen? Who is Orton going to take on at WrestleMania? Will we get a triple threat? All of this will be answered this Friday on SmackDown. In the Pacific Northwest, I might add. So that was what happened in the men's chamber. That was what happened in the men's chamber. And let me tell you something. All of that momentum carried into Indianapolis, Indiana, and Monday Night Raw this past Monday night. I'm going to tell you something, folks. This was probably one of the best Raws I've seen in a vastly long time. WWE put their foot on the gas and put that pedal to the metal and really and truly gave you something to hang your hat on. This was a great Raw. This probably was the best Raw, as I said, as I've seen for a vastly long time. CM Punk and Roman Reigns did a promo that I thought was a wow. I don't know what word to use for that promo. And what CM Punk said to Roman and what he's going to do with him at WrestleMania really crossed the line, and it was really eye-telling. I cannot wait for that match to take place at WrestleMania. That main event of WrestleMania, that is going to be picante spicy, to say none the least. Just like Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley will be picante spicy at WrestleMania. These are two matches I believe in my heart of hearts will be barn burners. So backstage, before we continue with the chamber, backstage at Raw, Danhausen, who made his debut at the chamber, by the way, too, around the booze. We when they brought out that crate, let's just go back for a second. When they brought out the crate, I thought it was somebody that was, we were going to get some really shocking surprise. No, what we got instead was Danhausen. So Danhausen is in the crate. He comes out And all 19,000 people in the United States booed the snot out of him out of the arena. They were so dissatisfied with what they saw, and WWE pulled out of that great, not great. Danhausen was not great, and Triple H made sure he did not sit on the pre-show panel. He took a backstage with Kathy Kelly, and he did an interview, and that was it. Triple H did not want to hear from the fans. He don't want to be. He wants to be left alone. He knows what he's doing in creative. Okay, Triple H, we see you. So Triple H does an interview backstage so the fans don't heckle him. He stayed backstage with Ken and did the interview, and that was it. So on Raw, getting back to Raw, because I'm all over the place, folks. I'm sorry. But on Raw, we had a brand new Intercontinental Championship after Danhausen cursed Dirty Dom Mysterio. So Dirty Dom Mysterio is no longer the Intercontinental Championship. Hallelujah. And it belongs to Penta. Now, here's the thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see Penta have a short Intercontinental title reign. I don't want to see that. I think that's very unfair to Penta. He was so emotional in the ring. He started to cry when he won the Intercontinental Championship. And I think Penta deserves a long, lengthy title reign. And I think WWE should owe him that. Ever since he debuted, he's been nothing short of sensational. And Penta needs a long title run. So congratulations to Penta on winning the Intercontinental Championship. And then what happened in the beginning of Raw was even more spicy. Here comes some more spice for you. Paul Heyman comes out with the vision, and he has in the ring, he has Logan Paul, and he has Austin Theory. Remember, Rollins was excommunicated from the group, and then Big Bronson Reed is on the shelf and he had surgery. So he's done. He's out indefinitely. So they come in the ring and Heyman says that the next time he sees Rollins, he's going to put him down. Okay. So he threatens Rollins. All of a sudden, again, just like the Chamber, here comes some masked men. Everybody's chasing him. Austin Theory chases one masked man. Then Logan Paul tries to chase after another one. What they forgot was they left Heyman in the ring. Heyman had his back turned to the audience. Who should come out of the underneath the ring but Rollins? Rollins did the same exact thing he did when he disbanded the Shield. He whacked Heyman in the back with the chair. The same thing, same booking that they did when the Shield was disbanded and Rollins turned heel that night on Raw. When Triple H says there's always a plan A, a plan B. And Rollins did the same thing again, but this time he did it to Heyman. Heyman was busted open, blood coming from his nose or his mouth, wherever it was coming from. It was coming like a river, like a riverbed. And Heyman was let out in an ambulance. But who was driving the ambulance but LA Knight? Can't make this stuff up, folks. Can't make this stuff up. Knight is not good as a champion. He's not good at anything, but he's good in spots where he can drive an ambulance. Go figure. So we had that. We had that, and the Vision was taken out by the Usos. All right, all right, folks. That was Monday Night Raw. That's what took place on Raw this past Monday night. All right, let's get back to the chamber. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch took on AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and this was absolutely great. And guess who was the referee? Miss Jessica Carr. As you know, Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr are like oil and vinegar; they don't mix. She don't like her, and I'm sure that the feeling is mutual on Jessica Carr's side. So the match was fine for what it was. The match was, oh, getting back to the men's elimination chamber, I'm going to give the match on an entertainment level. I'll give the match a 7. The match gets a 7, and that's the best I can do for it. The match gets a 7. The match gets a 7. Okay. All right, folks. So we had that going on. We had that going on. So AJ Lee took on Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Jessica Carr gets hit in the head by Becky Lynch. She kicks her in the head. Down goes Jessica Carr. We have no referee. All of this shenanigans was going on. But in the end, the tarantula and, of course, Becky Lynch taps out, and Jessica Carr sees the tapation, and we have a brand new Intercontinental Women's Championship in AJ Lee. AJ Lee wins in front of the throngs of people in Chicago, and it was great. It was a great moment for AJ Lee, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with her winning the Intercontinental. I just hope that they give her a lengthy title reign. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. I'm not asking for a lot here. All I want is for her to have a lengthy title reign. So AJ Lee wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Okay. And on an entertainment level, I'll give the match another 7. The match gets a 7. The match gets a 7, folks. And that's the best I can do for it. The match gets a 7. All right. CM Punk versus Finn Balor. The match was fine. I love the entrance way of CM Punk. I like that. I like the introduction, like he was playing basketball. They had that basketball theme going with the introduction. Thought it was great. Great stuff. Great thing to put AJ. The great stuff to see CM Punk getting serenaded towards the ring. All right. Like I said, the match was fun. And the match ended with no shenanigans. It was a clean finish. CM Punk retains the championship, and rightfully so. He will march on to WrestleMania, and he will take on Roman Reigns for that coveted title at the Show of Shows, WrestleMania 42. I had no problems with the match. I thought the match was fine. Finn Balor, like I said, put CM Punk to his limit, but when the smoke was clear, Punk survived everything that Balor gave to him and more, and retained the title. And retain he did, and retain he should. And he did. So congratulations to CM Punk on retaining the title, and thank you to Finn Balor for being being a competitor in the match. You got nothing to be ashamed of. You pushed Punk to his limit, but in the end, Punk found a way to retain. All right. Women's Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley wins the title. Wins the match. I don't have a problem with Rhea Ripley winning the women's elimination chamber. I thought the chamber was decent. The women's chamber was decent. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought all six women in the match, they did their thing in the match, in the ring. Of course, the crowd wasn't really into it as they all are in all women wrestling. So, like I said, the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. And on an entertainment level, I'm gonna give it another 7. Match gets a 7. All right. And as a whole, I gave the entire show a B. I gave the entire show a B. And that's the best I can do for it. I gave the show a B. All right, folks. So that was Elimination Chamber 2026. All right, so let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Dynamite last night took place at the Don Askel Center in El Paso, Texas. This was good stuff. This was good stuff. MJF walked into the match overconfident, but he quickly realized that he was in trouble against the fast, resilient Knight. The Jet fought through the pain offense of the salt of the earth and laid out with a wild springboard clothesline on the floor, heading to the commercial for the first time. So Knight had a good showing in this match. He really did against MJF. But in the end, MJF retained. And he pushed Bryce Rinsberg on the second rope, and poor Bryce Rinsberg's throat was straddled on the second rope, and he went down in a heap. And MJF took advantage of it, and he wins and he retains the title. Hangman comes out and he laid waste to MJF, but this was not the story of Hangman and MJF. Nope, this was not the end. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the match was fine for what it was. And on an entertainment level, I'll give this match an 8. The match gets an 8. The match gets an 8. I thought it was good. MJF was always a dirty heel. Reminds me of Roddy Piper, the late Roddy Piper. Man, so rest in peace. MJF is something else. Here's some notable stuff that happened in the match. Excalibur called called for the collision recap too quickly to start the night, leading to an awkward technical issue to start the show. Yeah, so apparently Excalibur called for a replay of the collision that happened last weekend. And there was some snafu going on with the technical, so that didn't work. The crowd shifted by cheering MJF and booed Knight even during the introductions. Jet won over the crowd in the course of the match. So yeah, so when he was being booed, which I thought it was strange. Why would you boo a baby face? I don't understand that. That didn't make any sense to me. Why would you boo a baby face? Like, okay. Um, yeah, so the match gets an 8. The match was fine. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin took on Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. This is absolutely great. Great match. All right, so and then after the match, Dave Finlay arrived to lay out Cassidy and Allen with his shillelagh, adding another war dog to the fight. Yeah, so the war dogs are strength in numbers, and he came out and waylaid him with the shillelagh. Reminds me of another person in wrestling with a shillelagh. Fit Finley, yeah, and of course, Sheamus comes out with a shillelagh sometimes. So this was some good stuff. The match was fine for what it was, a great tag team match. Little fun tag team match to whet your appetite. As far as the entertainment level goes, I'll give this match, I'll be nice. I'll give the match a 5. The match gets a 5, and that's the best I can do for it. So we got that happening. All right. The Brawling Birds versus the um, Inspiration. Well, of course, we all know who those were. Those were the Iconics in WWE, and they lost to the Brawling Birds. They have no fanfare for the audience. Hangman Adam Page took on Marty Snow. Quick fashion. Quick match. And Hangman wins in quick fashion. And Tony Schiavone says that this might have been the fastest match in AEW history. I would agree with that assessment. John Moxley took on Hechicero. I thought the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Hechicero and Moxley went to war, and Hechicero took Moxley to his limit. Hechicero came out to a new theme ahead of his match. It took some time getting used to the change, but it's a good song. Yeah, so Hechicero has a new theme music. He came out. Moxley delivered a follow-up message to Konosuke Takeshita afterwards through camera, causing the Alpha to drive and stare down his opponent challenger. Well, as you know, everyone, Moxley and Takeshita will meet at Revolution next Sunday. And of course, don't forget Revolution will happen next Sunday at the Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles County, California. And I won't be streaming the show, folks. I won't be streaming it. But I'll tell you this much. I'll watch Revolution next Sunday. I'll watch it with an eagle eye, and I'll see exactly what's going to transpire here in Los Angeles next Sunday night. I can't wait to see what AEW. This is AEW, by the way, its first pay-per-view offering of 2026. And I can't wait to see exactly what happens at Revolution. So, building up towards Revolution next Wednesday is the Go Home Show. It is the Go Home Show for AEW Dynamite. And that won't happen next Wednesday. So, can't wait to watch that. So, Moxley wins. In the entertainment level, I'll give the match a 7. Match gets a 7. Brody King arrives to impromptu call out to Swerve Strickland. Prince Nana arrives. Nana distracts. Nana distracts him, and of course, Swerve Strickland took Brody King and choked him with a chain. These two men will meet at next Sunday's Revolution in Los Angeles. All right, good stuff. AEW Women's Championship, Tekla took on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa. Yeah, that. Tekla defeated Thunder Rosa by pinfall and retained the AEW Championship. Thunder Rosa arrived with a new theme for her world title opportunity. This is another strong song. Obviously, transition giving on how long Thunder Rosa used her original. Yeah, that's true. I'd agree with that assessment. So the match was fine for what it was. Again, the audience was dead when it comes to women's wrestling, and without really crowd participation, you really can't rally behind this. So based upon what I said on the entertainment level, I'm going to give the match a 3 because the reason I gave it a 3 is because the audience was not participating in it. So I gave the match a 3. Match gets a 3, and that's the best I can do for it. All right. And here's something that was very heinous. Jet Set Rodeo versus Don Callis family for the Trios Championship. And thanks to MJF, Jet Speeds, Mike Daly, Kevin Knight, and of course, Hangman Adam Page are no longer the Trios champions. They belong to the Don Callis family thanks to MJF's interference in the match. So that was Dynamite, folks, and it was a good show. It was a great show. I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was fine for what it was. We're building up towards Revolution next Sunday in Los Angeles, and it should be a barn burner. And speaking of AEW pay per view, folks, Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing pre-sale went on sale this week, and the tickets were very good. It's a hotbed. This is AEW's first pay-per-view in New York City, and it's going to take place at not Arthur Ashe. Excuse me, not Arthur Ashe. It's going to take place at the other stadium and the tennis complex, and it should be great. It's going to be Sunday, May 24th. Tickets available right now at Ticketmaster.com. You could be part of it all. I already got my tickets for Revolution. I mean, for Double or Nothing, and I can't wait to do it. It's going to be historic. It's going to be an historic Sunday for AEW, and it's going to be great. Double or Nothing, the award-winning pay-per-view show, will take place on Sunday, May 24, and it will be available on HBO Max and all pay-per-view cable and home and satellite providers. And we can't wait to do it. All right, folks. That was AEW Dynamite. That was AEW. And that is it, folks. That is it for that. All right. Let's get to some wrestling news, shall we? All right, folks. Here's some wrestling news. I'm sorry about that. I'm looking for my notes. Um. All right. WWE's WrestleMania 42 watch party blockout policy in Las Vegas is already frustrating local businesses, but now even ESPN isn't happy about the move either. According to Ringside News, WWE has already made it clear that they're not budging on restricting WrestleMania watch parties broadcast within 50-mile radius of Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Bars and venues hoping to host commercial screening have reportedly been shut down, even if they were willing to pay license fees. Now reports now reports suggest that the frustration isn't just coming from local businesses. According to the Sports Business Journal, Blake Evingan on March 3rd, ESPN isn't a fan of TKO's restriction on nearby venue broadcasts. One such characterized this policy as a direct misstep. The reasoning WrestleMania thrives on FOMO and the blackout could be killing that effect instead of fueling it. Separately, TKO's club was reportedly restricted on nearby venue watch party broadcasts were characterized by one source as a self-inflicted deterrent. The source argues that the policy undercuts the very FOMO effect live events thrive on. If price-sensitive fans opted to watch Night One locally, and the thinking goes organic buzz and fear of missing out could have driven the incremental ticket sales for night two. Instead, limiting nearby broadcasts may suppress the spillover demand. In other words, instead of creating a citywide momentum that spilled into stadium, the restriction may be limiting the natural hype cycle that the big event depends on. The same source didn't stop there. They also reportedly pointed what they see as a bigger disconnect. The same person also pointed out the rising cost of WWE fandom and what described as Mark Shapiro growing disconnected from everybody WWE consumer. So, in layman's terms, folks, in layman's terms, everyone is not happy with this blackout, this new rule WWE has. They are no longer allowing bars, restaurants, or anybody within the 50-mile radius to broadcast WrestleMania in their restaurants. So no more watch parties. Nobody can organize a watch party. If you are going to if you are going to organize a watch party in that neighborhood of Vegas, you could forget it. It ain't happening. WWE wants people to come to the arena. I think it's just, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this because here's the thing. If you I'll give you an example. Myself, I can't afford those kind of prices in Vegas WWE is asking for. It's just not feasible. It's unreal. You're asking a fan who lives paycheck to paycheck to fork over maybe 56,000 in tickets. Let's say it's a family of 6 or 7. You're asking the average Joe to fork over probably close to 42,000 to 60,000 of tickets to see WrestleMania both nights. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I may have made up the number, but I'm just saying it as an example. I mean, this is unfair. This is completely unfair. And everyone who has plans will now have to scrap them because then you're not allowed. You're forbidden to broadcast any WWE event as long as the WWE has that policy in place. I think it's completely unfair. I think it's unfair to the organizer. I think it's unfair to the fans. And I think it's unfair to everyone who wants to have a watch party. Well, you know what you're going to have to do when you do a watch party? You got to do it in your house. Get that ESPN app. Get it on a TV, a tablet, a screen, wherever you got it, and just do it at home. Can't invite too many people in your living room, but you do what you can. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty shocking. So I'm just trying to gather my thoughts, folks. It's quite a long pause. Just trying to gather my thoughts. You know, I don't know, folks. I've been a wrestling fan for a very long time, as everybody knows. And the thing with me is, it's just I cannot see myself spending a lot of money for wrestling tickets. It's just to me, it's just not feasible. I don't know, folks. I feel bad for everyone. All right. All right, here's a story about Jay Cargill, folks. Uh, WrestlingNews.co. A new report from the PW Insider reveals that the ongoing social media dispute between WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley is a legitimate conflict, not a scripted television storyline. According to sources, multiple talents blame Cargill for the tension, noting history backstage frustrations and un unrequited respect within the locker room. The report indicates that Cargill's previous stint at WWE's Performance Center was actually allowed personal issues to subside. While one source defended Cargill as highly competitive, a type A personality, WWE management is expected to intervene and address the locker room relationship. So apparently Cargill has a chip on her shoulder. She probably has an attitude up the wazoo. She's not really a good wrestler. Let's just be perfectly honest with you. She thinks she's a Mercedes Monet. That's what Jay Cargill thinks of herself. She's acting like a Mercedes Monet. First of all, I don't think she's a good wrestler. And if you disagree, that's fine. I don't think that she's a great wrestler. I don't find her great. Her timing is off. Sometimes she doesn't sell well, and it's just no bueno. And she doesn't have much in her repertoire. All the woman does is pump kick you and give you the jaded. That's it. That's all her in her repertoire. She doesn't have anything else. And her title reign is lackluster. Very lackluster. Very weak like tea. Very weak is Jade Cargill. So I want to see Rhea Ripley win at WrestleMania, personally. If you want me to be perfectly honest with you, Jade needs to have that title removed from her. I think Rhea would best fit that title than Jade. All right. So that was the story about Jade Cargill and what my feelings are about it. I think she's a prima donna. Like I said, she's not all of that. She's just not. I don't find the woman appealing. She has nothing. Listen to me carefully. The woman has nothing in her repertoire. All she does, folks, is pump kick you and give you the jaded. That's it. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I don't know what to tell you. So that, folks, was Jade on the story of Jade Cargill. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for WrestleMania. I mean, I'm thinking about WrestleMania. That is gonna do it for the wrestling experience. I mean, silly goose. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching tonight. Please make sure that you smash the like button. That's what it says in the bottom of the screen, folks. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure that you like all my wrestling content. And I'll be back again in cyberspace real soon. Until then, everyone, thank you for watching the Wrestling Experience. I'm Earl Cole, and have a good night and enjoy your rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your Friday. And like I said, I'll see you in cyberspace when I see you. Good night, everyone.